Hey, welcome back to No Shit MMA on thatchannel.com, sponsored by Extreme Couture Toronto. We have Jason, the athlete MacDonald, who happens to be on the line. And Jason, why don't you tell us where you are and what you were just doing?
I'm at my gym, Pure Fitness, and I was just sparring. I'm actually using a piece of paper towel to wipe somebody's blood off me right now.
Whose blood? Whose blood was it?
I don't know. Some boxer came to the gym, and sometimes these boxers show up randomly, and they want to show somebody who's boss.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't say your wife's blood, because that's just wrong.
No, not my wife's blood. I'm not that kind of guy.
Hey, so a couple boxers come in and they say, "Well, can I spar today?" And you say, and they say, "Sure. Why don't you spar with Jason?" Is that what went down?
No. We were like sparring at the end of class, and the boxers was like, "Hey, Jay, can you do some rounds with us?" And I like boxing, man. I like boxers coming here, and but boxers only know one speed. It's hard.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to just go easy this round, and then they just freaking crack you. So I've learned that lesson a long time ago. So I know that when I'm about to do some rounds with a boxer, that it's on.
Yeah.
So, we were thrown down, but it was fun.
16-ounce gloves?
16-ounce gloves, no headgear. I'm a knucklehead, I guess. I'm not much for wearing headgear, but...
Yeah. It shows because you've gotten progressively uglier over the years.
I said that. I just said that to somebody on the weekend.
You said it to me.
Fighting's not making me any better looking, that's for sure.
You know what's interesting, though, is the harder you get hit, the more fit you look.
And yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm trying to make up for the fact that I'm ugly, and I'm getting stupid with every punch, so I try to make my body look better.
Well, two thoughts on that. One is, you are getting a little dumber because the person you said that to was me, and you don't remember that. But the other is, you really are in unbelievable shape all the time. So is that partly genetic, or is strength and conditioning a big part of what you do?
Yeah, well, I think it's both. I've been lucky to be a tall, skinny guy. When you're a kid, you don't think it's very cool to be tall and skinny. You're a teenager and you just want to have big muscles. And then when you get a little older and you're still tall and skinny, but you look fit and everybody else has a beer gut, it's definitely a good thing. But I spend a lot of time staying in shape. I think you can be the best fighter in the world, and if you go in there and halfway through the first round you run out of gas, you know you look like a bag of shit.
Yeah, like Robin.
Yeah, like me.
No, Robin's pretty fit. I've seen him. He took his shirt off there for a couple of guys this weekend, and
for a couple of guys.
That's so good. And then the guy started licking his nipples. We got that on camera.
Never happened. I'm trying to get.
Then Robin went back to sucking dick, as
Frank Trigg told me to do that.
Trigg suggested.
I think that was at the after party.
Yeah, I've never done that particular endeavor. But
hey, Shoney Carter got naked at the after party.
Yeah,
and I remember.
Guy loves the attention.
Yeah, Robin's head was stuck under Shoney's kilt for a while.
That never happened either.
Shoney's mad at me.
Shoney's mad at you?
Yeah, he's mad at me. I did an interview, and somebody asked me if I'd be interested in a rematch with Shoney, and I said that at this point in his career, I think he's a bit of a joke, and he took some offense to that.
Yeah. Oh, why would somebody take offense to that?
I don't know, man. A guy wears a Subway suit around, and he wears... a Speedo to the ring in the year 2000, and he wonders why somebody calls him a joke. I don't get it.
Well, you know what? That's what we like about you guys out in Alberta, is you do tell it like it is.
Hey, well, I could bullshit you, but I'm not that type of guy.
No, and but did he say something to you? Did he go, "Yo, man, I heard what you said. I'm,
No, I think he said it to the Sportsnet guys. I think they did an interview with him, and he went off for 15, 20 minutes on. The fact that I called him a joke.
Like this weekend?
I called it. Well, it was last week. I did an interview, and somebody asked me about a possible rematch with him, and I said it. And then this weekend, he was upset about it.
But he didn't. He didn't come over and talk to you because he was like 100 feet away from you for most of the weekend.
I know, and usually him and I are fairly cool, and I was surprised they didn't even say hello, and then they brought this up to me, and I was like, oh, now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I told everybody it's a joke.
Well,
and you'd think he would have a sense of humor about stuff, because he is a performer, right? I think he knows where he fits in.
But that's where I'm coming from, and I know people are going to say, well, he beat you in a fight, but he beat me in a fight 5 years ago when I was a nobody, and then he was fresh out of the UFC. And now, now I think I'm in a different place in my career. And
actually, I thought you won that fight, too, come to think of it.
No.
Well, I lost.
It was a decision.
No, I thought you won that.
It was a pretty close fight.
Yeah,
it wasn't, maybe one of my worst fights. I think any fighter looks back early in his career and watches his fights and goes, oh, man, I can't believe I was that bad. And
I feel that way when I watch my.
I totally feel that way when I watch
think
Robin
every
train.
fighter looks at. I mean, and yeah. Anyways, so Stoney and I are different opinions.
Who would you like a rematch with?
Well, I mean, anytime you have a loss on your record, I would love to erase any one of those losses. Would I like to fight Shoney again? Absolutely, because I have the opportunity to erase the loss off my record. But
what about Patrick Cote?
I would love to fight Pat again. And, you know, we had a great fight, like a 5-round war, and yeah, I would love the opportunity to fight Pat again. I mean, any loss. Eastman's another one, and I lost a close decision to Eastman. I'd love an opportunity to erase that one off my record too.
Hey, that brings up an interesting point. I think a lot of people probably don't, hear a lot about. But a guy like Pat, really nice guy. Obviously, you know him at this point. Like from traveling around, and both you guys are real nice guys. How do you prepare for that when you know somebody a little bit better and you consider them nice or a friend or whatever? How does that change a fight?
I don't think it changed the fight at all. I mean, I've actually trained with Pat. I went down to prepare for my Ed Herman fight with Pat. And, yeah, we're good friends. We're cool. But at the end of the day, it's a sport about winning and losing, and it's about fighting. And, if someone says, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars to get in there and fight Patrick Cote, as a friend, I think Pat's doing me a bigger injustice if he says, no, I don't want to fight Jay, because then we both lose the opportunity to get paid. We both lose the opportunity to fight, to show up, to get in shape and fight. And I mean, I think you're doing your buddies an injustice if you don't take a fight against them.
Okay, so here's the question for you. Your fight with Damian Maia, he ended up getting you by submission. It was a rear naked choke. You have most of your wins by submission. How fucking awesome is his jiu-jitsu? Like, was it really difficult?
Top level.
You're very top level, and then he's like a world champ. Was it just really difficult to handle him the entire time, or was it like pretty even, and then just all of a sudden it was like, fuck, what the fuck just happened?
I'll interject for a second. While watching it, you looked absolutely like you belonged rolling with him, and nobody else has.
Well, why don't you let him answer the fucking question, Robin?
Observing.
Why do you answer people's questions?
Not answering.
Do you need to be? Shut up.
I'm making an observation.
All right, thanks. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Jason.
His jiu-jitsu's at a level where, my trainer, Josh Russell, is a black belt and very, very good black belt too, but his level, he's at that level Maya is where it's coming, and even when you're at a certain level, at the lower level, sometimes you get caught in shit and you go, man, I don't even know what that was. But once you reach a certain level, you usually realize, hey, I'm getting set up for this or I'm getting set up for that, and you try not to let it happen. But with Maya, I was getting set up for stuff, and I was realizing that I was getting set up for it, and there was still nothing I could do about it. So I really felt like, there was times where I turned things around and got on the offense a little bit. But for a majority of that fight, I was surviving. I was defending. I was surviving. And, there was a few, highlight moments where I was able to turn things around and mount an offense for a few minutes or a few seconds. But for the most part, man, I was on the run that whole fight.
So would you say then you got like the beating like a redheaded stepchild would normally get?
I don't know, because he didn't beat me up. I'd say I got a beating like a redheaded stepchild from Rich Franklin. But Maya didn't beat me up. He just choked the shit out of me.
You know what, though? Of everybody he's fought, you definitely did the best with him, I think. I mean...
Well, I think because everybody tries to avoid fighting his fight. And
while they're running.
I should have, too.
Yeah.
But in the heat of the moment, I was like, you know what? Screw you. You're going to try to submit me, and I'm going to try, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's like the mano-a-mano thing, It's like,
you lasted the longest, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
you get like a ribbon for that.
I mean, when you...
I think we got voted as one of the top 10 fights of the year for that fight. So I guess
it was awesome.
At the end of the day, it's all about giving the fans a good showing, and we were able to do that.
Well, when you took him down at the beginning of the second round, I'm screaming at the TV, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So my corner was screaming the same thing. I think the exact same thing they were screaming.
Yeah, like seriously, like, you got through a first round with a guy, you lost at 10-9, but you looked good. Get in there, punch the fuck out of this guy, and it's like you took him down. But I don't know, it was one of those great fights, and I think people rightly so voted it that.